Visit tcm.com/Julians for more.
Welcome back to TCM. I'm Dave Karger. Our Saturday lineup continues now with a tense drama from RKO starring 3 acclaimed actors with the same first name: Robert Young, Robert Ryan, and Robert Mitchum. From 1947, directed by Edward Dmytryk, it's Crossfire. The film was adapted from the novel The Brick Foxhole by Richard Brooks, who would later become one of the top writers and directors in Hollywood, with 8 Oscar nominations for movies like Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Elmer Gantry, and In Cold Blood. Brooks was serving as a sergeant in the Marine Corps during World War II when he wrote the novel, and RKO producer Adrian Scott bought the rights to adapt it for the screen. But this was a far cry from the kinds of morale-boosting war dramas that Hollywood produced while the war was still going on. Instead, it's a movie that came after the war ended, at a time when audiences were becoming more cynical and ready for Hollywood to take a more realistic approach. The style that came to be called film noir reached its peak during this era, and Crossfire is a prime example. It's the story of the murder of an innocent civilian, and in a shocking twist for the mid-1940s, the killer is a demobilized American soldier. In the original novel, the murder victim was gay, but that wouldn't have made it past the production code, so for the film version, the character was rewritten as Jewish. Consequently, Crossfire wasn't the only film released in 1947 that dealt with the topic of anti-Semitism. The same year, 20th Century Fox also produced another powerful drama with similar themes, Gentleman's Agreement, directed by Elia Kazan. Both films were nominated for the Oscar for Best Picture, but the award went to Gentleman's Agreement. Crossfire was also nominated in 4 other categories, including for Robert Ryan as Best Supporting Actor. From 1947, also with an Oscar-nominated performance from Gloria Graham, this is Crossfire. Crossfire was based on a novel by Richard Brooks, and before Brooks even sold the rights for a film version, he met a fellow Marine who told him that if the book ever got turned into a film, he wanted to play the role of Montgomery. That Marine was Robert Ryan, and 2 years later, he got his chance. Ryan's performance in Crossfire gave him the first big break of his career and earned him the only Oscar nomination of his career. But success came with an unfortunate consequence. Ryan was so effective in this kind of role that he continued to be typecast as ignorant and hateful bigots throughout his time on screen, even though in real life, he was the complete opposite. Crossfire was also an important film for Robert Mitchum, who was just beginning to break through as a star. After this, he starred in another film noir, Out of the Past, which premiered the same year. Up next is a 1944 melodrama from the director of Out of the Past, Jacques Tourneur, starring Hedy Lamarr, George Brent, and Paul Lucas.
Next on TCM, Experiment Perilous. Then, The Hanging Tree. And later, same time next year. Keep your appointment with TCM today.